questions you can ask someone to get to know them that actually help you get to know them. I'm going to answer them immediately within the same film and give you that raw footage of exactly what comes to my mind. Hopefully, you can use these questions to ask some people in your life and actually get some meaningful answers. If you could change anything about the way your parents raised you, what would it be? Kind of a loaded question for some of us, but think about it like this while we learn from everything that we go through, whether at the moment or later on in life, if there was something you could change, what would you want to change? I might say that while I experience this later on in life, I would like to have gone more places and seen more things, to learn about other people and other cultures more outside of my own bubble. Now, I'm not saying that I wish, my parents had taken us on big fancy vacations all the time, because that's, something that was unrealistic. But I do wish that I got to see more of people and people that weren't like me and just learn more about the world. What is the best advice you have ever received? This is tough because we intake so many things on a daily basis that we, kind of learned from and took away. Probably the best advice that I ever received, that I ever read about, was to remember to live each moment that you're in fully, to not spend your life looking forward only to the future, so much so that you miss the moments that you're in, to pay attention to where you are now and to soak up every moment of life that you experience. Life is about experiencing. What is the worst advice you've ever received? I would say that some of the worst piece of advice I've ever received is centering around that mentality of just forced, continual work of striving for success and living this lifestyle that is rushed and busy and can be very unhealthy for us currently and in the long run. So to push forward, to just keep going, to, not take the time to sit back and rest because that's lazy, to just go, go, go. I think that is the most harmful advice, the worst advice I've ever received, because as I have lived and grown, I have learned that advice just kind of can make for a crappy life. If you could switch lives with one person for just one single day, who would it be? I'm kind of split on this. Immediately, if I'm saying the first thing that comes to my mind, I really would like to be the president for a day. And not in some just like power, striving way that I just want to have that accomplishment. It's because we really don't think on a day-to-day basis how much crazy pressure it is to be the president. It is not just some job where you sit at a fancy Oval Office and take things lightly. Well, it's not supposed to be. And if you're doing things right, you are stressed the heck out all the time. Because you make decisions daily and things that come up on a moment's notice that can impact and make or break lives, true, real lives of people. And I think I would have extra respect for that if I got to experience it for a day. Secondly, I am split also that I would like to experience the life of somebody in another culture, like in another country, of a different nationality than myself, just to gain some perspective. What is your definition of success? I feel like my answer has probably matured over time as I have, and I've found the things in life that are truly important to me. But my definition of success in this moment, these days, is to fully love and to fully be loved. I feel like just leaving that pure love everywhere I go. So with, my husband, with my family, with our cats, with animals everywhere, with strangers on the street, just to show pure love and experience life fully each and every moment. That is success to me. Do you believe that people can change? Yes, I do believe that people can change. I have changed immensely, and you can find story after story of people who come from the most drastic of just awful situations, backgrounds, behaviors, and they truly, purely do change. Now, I will say, while I don't know statistics overall, and those would be impossibly hard to find, of percentage of people who, truly changed within their lifetime at some point, I don't know how many it is that truly, truly change. I feel like a lot of people like to not even like to, like it's a conscious choice, but people mask things a lot. People get to a point where they try to pretend like there's something else, or like they're making better choices, or they're making choices externally, but they have no change internally. That is super common too. And then some people, just choose to never change. And I feel like we all know somebody like that. Some people refuse to change, that's for sure. But if we have that growth mindset and we actually open up ourselves, our minds, our hearts to the world around us and the people around us, I feel like we can change, yes. Do you believe that you will accomplish your dreams? I love this question because it makes you stop and think about the action steps to get to that point of accomplishing your dreams. It's not just what are your dreams, because every one of us can sit and talk about our dreams. Oh, and I love to do that. I love hearing and letting people have the freedom to talk about their dreams. But taking those action steps to get there is not something that every person makes it to actually see their dreams realized. So for me personally, yes, I fully 100% believe that I will achieve my dreams, that my husband and I will accomplish our dreams because we are so wholeheartedly determined in that, and we have been taking action steps for quite a while to get us there, and we're growing every day. So yay for the future. What is your most cherished belief? I am a Christian. I believe that I was made by God. I'm wholeheartedly loved by God, and I believe that every being here was made by God, and I hold that very near and dear to me. I want to live out pure love in His name every day. I want to show that love to everyone, and that is a belief that I will hold on to until the day I die. Now, I'm not always perfect at it, but goodness, I do try, and I feel like I'm getting better at that as I mature, as I grow older, and as my priorities have really solidified as an adult. So just basking in that love of His and showing that love to everyone around me, humans and animals alike, every day. Whose death in your life hit you the hardest? Now, this one isn't necessarily one I would just go up, asking anybody at any time, but if you find a good point in time where you can do that, or the conversation kind of flows to it, ask away. For this one, for me, I would definitely say that the death that has hit hardest for me is my papa on my dad's side. He was such an amazing, sweet, and thoughtful man. And he and my mama were a very sweet example of love and lifelong love. With his death, it hit extra hard too because it started out like kind of slow. Dementia is a terrible situation for anyone or their loved ones to have to go through. And then at the end, there was time I stayed up, all night with him and helped care for him in some of his last moments that he was conscious, his last conscious moments. So that really hit hard for me and still does hit hard for me. But what a precious man. I love my papa so much. How has your perspective of the world changed over time? I love this question. Perspective drives everything, and my perspective has shifted and become so much deeper over the past few years, and I cannot be happier with that. It is why I started this YouTube channel. So my perspective used to be a lot more small-minded just because I grew up in such a bubble, and that bubble was where I felt comfortable staying, and I hadn't seen a lot of the world around me or heard a lot of things that weren't similar to what I heard every day. And so my perspective over the past few years has really deepened as I saw and learned about other cultures, even just driving out of the town I grew up in and actually living somewhere just a bigger city down the road has definitely opened up that perspective. But I am extremely grateful for that and my perspective shift because I see the world as so much more expansive, so much richer, and I get to more fully enjoy life and be able to help other people in this world because I actually see and care about what they're going through. Is there something you've dreamed of doing for a long time? And if so, why aren't you doing it now? Great questions, going back to dreaming and actually making things happen. For me, I feel like I kind of put myself in a box at one point, not necessarily intentionally, but I did it because I had this set career box for myself, this set, I am this type of achiever, I do these things, this is how I succeed and, win and stand out. And really, what I've, always wanted to do are so many different hobbies. And that is something that's okay. You don't have to be one thing. You do not have to only be, an expert at this certain craft or this certain skill or this certain hobby. Try the things you want to do. And that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm expanding. So I'm, stepping out to make these videos. I'm creating a website and a blog. I am, publishing written works more. I'm working on my drawing. I am learning to crochet. I'm learning to make excellent recipes and really broaden my expertise in cooking. I am, wanting to learn how to do this activity better, that activity better. And so just expand and actually try them. It's okay to not be inside just one box. Boxes suck.
If you like these questions as much as I did, here's a graphic that I put together that has all of the questions listed in order. That way you can screenshot this, save it, have it on hand whenever these questions would become useful for you. Or honestly, it would be just something fun to ask yourself, to think about, to maybe get to know yourself a little bit better. Like, share, subscribe if you found this helpful, and follow me on Instagram as well. My tag is coming up at the very end of this video and is also in the description below. Thanks for being here. See you in the next video.